So let's talk about hybrid picking. What do I mean? Well, to me, it's a combination of playing with the pick and with your fingers at the same time, hence the hybrid term. So you're not just flat picking, you're not just finger picking, you're doing both all the time. It's a fluid thing. It's a hard thing to teach because everybody does it in a way that's comfortable to them. As with most technique driven things, everybody finds a way that feels right to them and that is natural and comfortable. For me, it started basically with Danny Gatton, and I'll do a Danny Gatton video down the line in depth because he deserves it, and he's that important to me and to my playing. But basically, someone gave me a tape of Danny Gatton and a guy named Roy Lanham on the back, who, if you haven't heard, check him out. But anyways, I put in this tape, and I proceeded to hear Danny play all this stuff that was mind-boggling, and when I tried to start to figure it out, I realized I could not flat pick this stuff. It was just not possible. And even if I could, then it didn't sound right. There was this clean thing happening with his technique and this direct, straightforwardness to his playing, and stuff just popped out. And then, of course, there were the banjo rolls and all this stuff. And believe it or not, the first thing I heard that I tried to figure out was Danny playing a cover of Ray Charles' "What I Say," and we all know that riff. Da 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 da, ba ba da da da, da 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 da, ba ba da da da. But they were playing it at warp speed, and he came out playing it like this. It was like, whoa. So I tried to flat pick that, right? And it just didn't sound like this. So next thing I knew, overnight, I changed from playing with my hand anchored on the pick guard like this to playing like this. It was literally overnight. And I couldn't even explain necessarily what was happening. Things started to happen, and then I would take note of, little patterns that I was falling into. I started to realize that my middle finger was replacing a lot of upstrokes with the pick. So I was doing a lot of these triplets with 2 downstrokes from the pick and then an upstroke from my middle finger. Things like this triplet right here. And it started to sound like that banjo roll. And it took over my playing. So much so that like cliche blues licks sounded like this. And then it started actually making playing Albert King, things like that, easier for me to get the feel, because my fingers, I used to pocket the pick and do the... And I'll still sometimes do that, but now I'll go and hybrid it back and forth. And man, it just totally changed the game for the way that I play. Not just lead-based. Sometimes rhythm would change. I'd be playing those shuffles, and all of a sudden I started to stab all the notes at the same time, as if I was an organ player. was like, whoa, that's a whole new world of playing rhythm guitar. And it really, really changed everything. Then as I got further into Danny, I started to learn some more really technique-driven stuff with drone notes and open strings. And we'll get into some of that in the Danny video. But let's talk about some of the drone note stuff right now. So what do I mean by drone note? Well, a lot of this hybrid picking stuff opened up a new world of pattern-based picking, and then drone notes where you keep a constant note going and you play other stuff around it, kind of like banjo players have been doing for centuries with finger picks and banjo picks. So anyways, I heard Danny play licks like this. But he would play them like... And it was cool. He could play it like this, trilling. But I couldn't do it. So I started to arrive at my own way, and that meant 2 downstrokes with the pick, and then double stops with my middle finger and my 4th finger. So. And it opened up again a new world of playing. So Danny could move up and down the fretboard. So I started to find my own way of doing that because I couldn't trill like he was, but I could at least move my anchor point within the pentatonic scale, the 5 positions of the pentatonic scale. So I could do stuff like this. And then... And that helped me like really kind of connect these hybrid ideas to my regular blues. So things started to come out like this. Next thing I knew, I felt like I had started to arrive at like my voice. I was mixing up some of the harmony that I knew with my blues love and the respect that I had for it, and honestly the homework I'd put in on it, and then this new technique and these new cool ideas, and open string things started to come into it. I'm going to do those in the Danny Gatton video because that's where so many of mine came from. But the hybrid picking thing really, really opened up a lot of eyes. Yeah, and like I said, rhythm guitar, solos, all together, the hybrid picking thing changed my playing. Yeah, I mean, and again, the repetition-based thing was important. So think of just taking a blues lick like, and playing. Instead of playing, I may play. Instead of, it'll be, yeah, and that just opened this new sound. And then combine it with chromatics and stuff and open strings. I would play, instead of like playing these B.B. King licks, I play instead of, you can get a real percussive thing. Yeah, it kind of really changed the game for me. Even on a cleaner sound, a shuffle, a straight blues, I noticed that my hybrid picking started to just work its way in. and you start to get sounds like this. So you'll notice it kind of works its way in. If anything, it helps me when I double up like that. People always ask me where that stuff comes from. It comes from the hybrid picking. It helped me even further pair together what was going on in my head and the time that I was having in here, that internal clock that we've talked about. It helped me even make it easier to tie to my hands so that when I would hear those licks, they would come out like that in time. So it's like, it just happens. Whatever rhythm I kind of hear, it was like a new tool to help me even strengthen that bond between the technical stuff I was hearing, the internal clock, the groove I was feeling, and just what my hands could actually do. And it started to, again, just break down barriers and make things become more flowing. And that way I was able to play more honestly and just let things come out that I truly was hearing. And there's a video coming on that too, how to self-edit and like really play what you're hearing. So if you're not a member yet, if you're not a ruler, please join or at least subscribe. I greatly appreciate the support. I'm going to keep cranking out this content while sitting home and not on the road playing gigs. And so I appreciate you guys even taking the time to watch the videos. Thank you so much, everybody. Ruling.